and welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you guys are new. I'm in an exceptionally good mood today because Christmas is officially in 4 days, and Christmas is my favorite time of the year. It's my absolute favorite holiday, so let me know if you guys love this time of year as well. Anyways, for today's video, I'm going to be talking about bridal trials and consultations with your clients. I know this video has been requested a couple of different times, and I thought this was a fantastic idea. I wanted to make this video as in-depth and informative as possible because bridal trials are very, very essential and very crucial when it comes to being a freelance makeup artist in the bridal industry. This is basically where your clients get to know you as a person, you as an artist, and you also get to know your clients and interact with them for the first time as well. First impressions are obviously very, very important, so you want to make sure you're as professional and polite as possible. So here we go, starting off, grab your snack, grab your drink, do whatever. This is probably going to be a longer video, so just hang tight, guys. First off, I just wanted to state that your consultations happen way before you actually meet with the bride in person. The first time you'll ever be interacting with your clients is obviously virtually, so they're going to be reaching out to you through your website, email, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media that you have at the current time. You want to make sure that you get as much information and details as possible about their wedding as you possibly can. Some people are so fantastic and will give you literally every detail about their wedding that you need to know. However, the majority of the people will probably give you really minimal information. The one really nice thing that's helped me through this is going on my website and setting up a whole entire consultation contact form. So for instance, I have where they put their name, their date, the time that they need to be ready by, the number of people that I'm going to have for services, and also just any other location information or venue information. So that's a really good tip for you guys. If you guys have not set up consultation forms already on your website, just make a whole entire contact page and just actually make the physical lines and questions for your clients just so you can personalize it for yourself. That way it'll be so much easier when it comes to communication with your clients, and you also won't need to bother them and do like the whole 20 questions thing. Usually your clients will be reaching out to you about 6 to even 2 years in advance, and they may not know exactly how many people that are going to want makeup for that day, which is completely fine. Just ask them to give you a range of people. So for instance, they can give you things like 4 to 5 people or 6 to 8 people or something like that. So at least it kind of gives you an idea of how long it's going to take you for everything all together. You also need to know how many people are going to need makeup for that day in case you need to hire another artist, need an assistant, or if you don't provide one, then you need to let that client know if they need to provide another artist. The other thing you need to know from them is where the actual getting ready location is. Keep in mind, this is different from the venue location. The getting ready location is where all the girls are going to be getting ready before they go to the venue. I mean, they could be getting ready at their venue, but most likely it's going to either be at their house, their parents' house, or a hotel off-site. You want to make sure that you know where this is to accurately calculate travel fees. So at this point in time, your clients will be going through all the information that you sent them, all your pricing and packages. Maybe they're going to be thinking about it, or maybe they want to book you. So say they want to go ahead and book you. Make sure that you have a contract for them to sign, whether it's an electronic contract or just a paper contract that you can email them. Make sure you do that just so you guys are both clear on what's expected. And then you also want to take a deposit from them. It's a monetary deposit that's going to basically lock them also into place financially. It'll be less likely that client's going to back out on you if they already have some sort of money invested. You want to make that amount high enough that they don't back out, but then not high enough that they're not going to book with you, if that makes sense. My deposits are actually $50. They used to be $25, but I felt like that was a lower amount. And so they were like, it's only $25, so whatever. But if people are paying $50 for me, then that makes it a little bit less likely that they're going to back out of it. Anywhere between like 50 and 75, I feel like is a pretty good range for a deposit. So yeah, just keep that in mind, contracts, deposits. So after that, you're going to go into your consultation part of this. You're still going to be talking with them virtually, but at this point in time, you really want to see what they're thinking as far as their makeup look. You want to go in fully prepared, so you want to make sure that you know what they want ahead of time if you can. Don't just ask them straight off what they want for their makeup look, because the majority of the clients that book you don't know much about makeup. They really don't know what looks good with their skin tone, skin type, etc. Usually what I tell my clients is to pick out 3 different reference photos. So this can be either off of Google, Pinterest, your personal portfolio, which is probably the best since you've obviously done that look personally, so you know how to do it. And then what you want to do with them is go through each and every photo with them and then ask them what they like and what they don't like about each photo. People will pick out a photo for a certain reason, but it may not be because of the whole entire picture, if that makes sense. So say the first photo that they show you is maybe a bold smoky eye with a neutral lip. Well, maybe they like the color of the lip, but just not the smoky eyes. And then maybe the second picture is a picture of like a really glam eye and like a bold red lipstick or something. And then maybe they just want the eye look and then they don't like the red lipstick. So you want to make sure that you kind of almost like help them piece together their look, if that makes sense. This way, when you go to the actual physical in-person bridal trial, then you kind of already have a look set for them. Most people will pick out a very neutral glam bridal look, probably one that you've done like 100 times on your clients before. Also, the other thing you can do if they really don't know what kind of look they're looking for is sometimes you can base it on their wedding colors. So this can be maybe accent colors that they have. It doesn't necessarily need to be like their main wedding color, but maybe say it's like a burgundy. Then you can pair any sort of mauves or blush pinks or champagne tones with that, and it looks really, really pretty. So you can sometimes base their bridal makeup looks on that. Otherwise, you can also use that as reference for the bridesmaids' makeup as well. If the bride does not pick out a specific makeup for their bridesmaids, you definitely want to make sure you ask that, by the way. Ask if they have any specific makeup looks for the bridesmaids. Sometimes the brides want to make their bridesmaids match each other, and sometimes they kind of just let them pick whatever. The next thing you can do, and this is an optional thing, is you want to have them send you a reference picture of themselves. Sometimes if you're a newer artist, this will help you, and you kind of can better prepare just in case you don't have the accurate products in your kit. Or if you aren't advanced enough maybe with that skin tone or age range or something, then you can kind of practice maybe on other people or something before you do that client's makeup. The next thing you want to do for sure is make sure that you guys know if they're sensitive to any products, any ingredients, or if they're allergic to anything. Usually people won't have any sort of allergies or sensitivities, or it'll be very minimal if they're hiring a makeup artist, because usually people with a ton of allergies will be so sensitive that they'll probably not trust anybody else to use other products on them besides the ones that they already own. But just in case they do have allergies and have hired you, you want to make sure that you know these things ahead of time. Most of the time, for some reason, people don't volunteer this information, which would kind of be nice, as far as like skincare and makeup and everything. There was one client of mine that had an allergy to aloe, and that's in like everything. It was like aloe vera extract, and I had to check all my ingredients in my skincare, all the ingredients in my makeup, and make sure that I brought no things that contain aloe vera or extracts or anything to that bridal trial. So in case you have somebody that has a really, really severe allergy like that, take it very seriously. Literally, if you didn't keep the packages of your items, go online, go on Sephora, go on Ulta's website, and look up all the ingredients and read them line by line just to make sure, because you do not want to be the person that's responsible for making your bride break out on their wedding day. Okay, so now you're at the point where you're actually at the bridal trial. They either come to you, you come to them, etc. Make sure that you show up about 5 to 10 minutes early if you're going to them, or if they're coming to you, just make sure that you have everything laid out in front of you and you're dressed professionally still. You don't want to be in your sweats even if you're at home. Next, you want to sit down with them and go over what you guys already talked about virtually. So you want to make sure that they're still on the same page with the makeup looks they picked out and kind of go over the combination of photos they sent you. After that, you'll begin the makeup applications. Just make small talk with them, ask them about their wedding and everything. Don't be fake about it, be genuine, but they'll really enjoy getting to know you. You want to make them as comfortable as possible with you, because you want to make sure that they feel comfortable enough if they don't like something to say something to you. So going on to the application, you want to make sure that you know what kind of skin type they have. This could be oily, dry, combo, things like that. Usually when you tell people that, they really don't know. So sometimes you can phrase it like, do you get oily when you have makeup on throughout the day, or does it sit pretty well, or do you have any like physical dry patches that you can see through makeup usually? I usually go in with my cellar water and a cotton pad first, so usually when I wipe down people's faces, I can kind of feel if they have texture on their skin. Otherwise, you can get permission from them to kind of feel around their face after you cleanse your hands and just, feel in their T-zone area or around their cheeks and everything, because that can usually be areas where you get drier, things like that. You want to make sure that you know what kind of skin type they have, just so you can prep accurately for it and also to know what products to use on them. So honestly, the rest of the application time, you're just going to be doing small talk with them, and then also just make sure to stop every single time you're done with a completed section, so like eyes, lips, face, whatever, and stop and show them a mirror. This is the only time ever that you need to give clients access to mirrors. Otherwise, don't do it for the actual wedding day, because they will be stopping every single 0.5 seconds and like looking at themselves in the mirror. And that's also the main reason why the trials take so long too, is because you're stopping, pausing, letting your clients analyze it. Just make sure when you guys are doing this to make sure you guys are still both on the same page. If not, you can just fix things as you go along instead of having to wipe everything off and completely redoing it at the end. But definitely make sure that you tell them that you have a cap for like the amount of hours that you spend with them for a bridal trial, because you don't basically want to be spending more time with them than what they're paying for that service, if that makes sense. So I usually cap my bridal trials out at 2 hours, and if they go longer than that, they have to pay an additional fee. So just make sure that you know for sure how long you physically want to stay at that bridal trial, because people will literally stay at bridal trials forever. I think I once had a bridal trial that was like 2.5 hours, and that was like way too long for me. So I, at that point in time, was like, yeah, I need to cap this at a certain amount of hours. Otherwise, it's going to go for way too long, and people are way too picky sometimes for it. When you're all done, just make sure that you guys, again, really like the makeup look. You're probably going to change a couple of things at least. I usually have to change the lip color about a couple of times, but as long as you guys are really, really happy and set with the makeup look, then that's absolutely fantastic. This brings me on to my next point, is that you want to make sure you fill out some sort of consultation sheet for yourself. I honestly just made my consultations on Word. I just filled out a whole entire Word spreadsheet and everything. I'm going to pull it up on the screen here so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So as you can see here, this is my bridal trial consultation sheet that I use. You guys can copy this verbatim if you want to. I really don't care. But yeah, this is what I use, and this is what I filled out. Again, I just made this on Microsoft Office and Word, so it's pretty easy to fill out and complete. So what I did is I put my logo right here just so you know that that's my business and everything. So then I just put the header that says bridal trial consultation. I usually staple this whole entire sheet to their contract that they fill out with me. So I have their client name, so it's the first and last name of the person. Then I have this little section here that basically helps me keep track of where I am with that client. So I have a section here that says payment status. So I have a checkbox for paid deposit, paid in full, and not paid. The majority of the time, clients will not be actually getting to the in-person bridal trial with me if they haven't filled out a contract and they haven't paid a deposit. On very special occasions, I will take people if they're really unsure about booking with me before they do the trial in person. So I'll just check the not paid box in pencil just so I can change it in the future if they, for some odd reason, go into that situation and they haven't done a deposit with me. But the majority of the time, I will be checking paid deposit. And then the paid in full is basically either when they prepay with me for their services in full or whenever I complete the wedding day application. Next is the service progress. So I have a checkbox for signed contract, trial, complete, and canceled. So usually they'll sign a contract with me first before I even do the bridal trial. So I have that checked, and then I usually do the trial checkbox whenever I complete the in-person bridal trial. Then obviously complete is when I completed the whole entire application for the wedding day. Then the canceled section right here is for the rare occasions where the client just ends up backing out with me for some reason. So I do have that box just in case I did end up canceling, but I still want to keep their information. So then if you go down here, I have a section for all the parts of your face where you'd ever need to list any products. So again, I just created all these little sections myself. None of this was pre-made or anything. Oh, and I also wanted to mention that this is the order that I do my makeup applications in. So that's why I have them in this order. You guys can obviously order it however you'd like, but this is what I'm comfortable with. So usually what I do is I start out with skincare, obviously. So I'll list all the skincare products I used on them. Then next I go to brows, list the brows, eyes, foundation, concealer, etc. I also have a section right here to put the spot for allergies, as I covered earlier. So any allergies or sensitivities that client may have, make sure you list them right here. Then here's a section for any additional notes. So sometimes weird things can happen during the trial where maybe a certain eyeliner ended up running on them, or they just didn't like the lip color that you chose and they wanted to choose another one. Just make sure you keep as good a notes as possible. But yeah, I think that's about it for this consultation sheet. Okay, everyone, so that is it for the bridal trials and consultations video. I hope you guys learned a lot through this video. Please let me know if you guys have any questions or anything I didn't cover. Leave those in the comments down below and I will for sure get back to you. I make sure to comment back on every single person's questions. It might take me a couple of days, but I definitely do try to comment back on everybody. I want to make sure that I answer as many questions as I possibly can. Also, if you guys really like this video and really like my channel, don't forget to like and subscribe, as well as also hitting that notification bell, and that will notify you of every single video I upload in the future. Hope you guys are having a really, really great holiday season, and also Merry Christmas to you guys, because I won't see you guys until after Christmas. So yeah, just have a really great holiday and a Merry Christmas, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. All right, bye.